All right. Let's see if we can get this thing going. Okay, so let's see. Am I showing up live there on YouTube? Oh, looks like I am. Oh, there I am. Cool. Looks like I am all set. Let's see if we can get anybody in here. I'm going to drop this in Discord for anybody who would like to join us there. And then we will go there. Okay. Cool. A couple people already in here. What's up, you guys? A little different of a zone or a little different of a place to hang out than I'm usually at. You guys might know me on my other channel, Trader Nick. If you just follow this channel, this is sort of our company channel. We're doing a little bit more range of stuff, but I wanted to get on here and do a little bit of a sort of a test live stream. But I also had some thoughts that I wanted to talk about after Julie and I were actually listening to some of our or one of my old videos where I was talking about some trading psychology stuff. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it. What's up, Lawrence LTTRT? What's up, you guys? Thanks for being here. A little different than our usual place. Like I said, if you watch me on my my channel, Trader Nick, it's a different channel than this one. If you'd like, you can subscribe to this one down below. We're going to be doing some other stuff on this one, sort of separating out the content. Let me see if I can check out. So I'm using a new streaming software too. So I might be a little bit clumsy today, but let's see what this looks like. Man, that actually looks kind of good. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about today, talk about finding the best trade setups for your account. The thing is, we always talk about like, oh, there might be a trade here or there might be a trade here, but I wanted to talk specifically about finding just the best trade setups because I know a lot of people out there, they are really struggling with consistency. And one of the biggest reasons is because a lot of times we feel like we've got to be in all the trades all the time, right? If there's a good move, we got to feel like we're a part of it. One of the biggest ones that comes to mind right now is watching this crazy Dogecoin move that we've been, I'm sure everyone in the chat has already heard about. Have you guys seen Dogecoin lately? It's a quieter stream today. Yeah, we've got a little bit less people than usual, but we're hanging out on the secondary channel. So for those of you guys who are real ones, you're hanging out on the second channel as well. But yeah, I wanted to talk about just sort of, like I said, finding your best trade setups. How do you isolate just your best trades when looking at stuff to get involved with? And it's sort of hard because like when you have situations like this with Dogecoin, where you've just got these massive rallies and everybody wants to be a part of, the big run up and, people get caught up in the chasing game. And now we see this thing giving back. I mean, if you're the one buying this thing at the top, you're sitting there hating yourself, right? Because you're down 30%. That's really tough. But how do we isolate, the scenarios where we can take the absolute best trades and just leave the rest out of the way? If you think about it, if you were to just isolate, if you were to cut out a lot of your bad trades, that would probably increase your performance by a lot. Let me see if I can get my my pen pulled up. Official Band Savvy says I have an average share price of 38 cents on Dogecoin. Okay, it's a little bit, probably in a little bit of drawdown, but I was in at 12 cents. Okay, not bad. Phil, what's up? Phil followed us to the second channel. Good to see you here, Phil. Maybe we'll have to make you a moderator here as well for the streams. But I'm thinking about doing some streams on this one, more like webinar style, more like just like lessons and talking and sharing my thoughts on these ones. So make sure if you want to see these type of videos as well to subscribe down below. A lot of Doge up around 330%. Phil, my man, that is awesome. Congrats to you, my friend. Yeah. So anyways, what I was saying is, what if you had, what if you isolated your best trades, like, and you cut out some of the losing trades? I'm trying to think of a good visual, but the thing is, from what I can tell, most of our trades, most of the really good ones are few and far between. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but not every single one of my trades obviously is like a big winner or anything like that. And in fact, most of my trades are either break even or losing trades. But when talking about trying to isolate the best ones, let's talk about some of the characteristics of the best sort of trades, how to isolate the absolute ideal trade setup. So I'm going to pull up one trade that I'm in right now. A little bit of a frustrating situation with dollar Swiss. So I am long on this thing as of right here, but I really like this trade setup. And honestly, this is one that I would consider one of my better trade setups. I took this trade because I had a sort of a long list of reasons to do so. I had a lot of different trade confluences here, or confluences on my trade, a lot of different things that lined up to get me long on this one. And I, if I'd isolated just to, sticking to the absolute best trades, it could be a little bit more beneficial to my overall performance. So how do you avoid crappy trades? Well, I think honestly, one of the best ways to do it is to wait for setups that have more confluences. So let me say it like this. So let's say that you're looking at, I don't know, you're looking at the dollar Swiss, or you're looking at AUD USD, or you're looking at, I don't know, Dogecoin, whatever you're looking at, right? Let's say that you come up with a couple different reasons for why you would or would not take the trade. Let's say that you say, okay, we have a nice demand zone, right? So you have demand and you're looking at potentially buying. You have a nice demand zone. Number two, maybe it lines up with your MAs look good. So your moving averages that you use, if you use them, they look good. I'm making stuff up, right? And you have these two things. And let's say those are the only two major things that are saying to buy. Well, that's an okay scenario. Maybe that's something that you like to trade. But what if you could tack on a third one? Let's say that there's a fundamental analysis. You've done your fundamental analysis and it checks out and you say, okay, I want to be bullish on whatever you're looking at. And finally, let's say that, the sentiment analysis also lines up. You've got the COT reports look good, or the retail sentiment looks good. Like, you're going long and everybody else is going short. That could actually be good on the retail side, because remember, most retail traders lose money. All of these things combined, if you have a nice list of reasons to take a trade, this could be a great way to trim the fat, if you will, on some of your trading setups. What I mean by that is, instead of taking trades where you're like, oh yeah, this looks good and this looks good, but the rest doesn't look good, maybe you just say, well, if it doesn't have a lot of different confluence factors or factors that agree, I'm going to skip this trade. I'm going to sit out of this one and sort of limit the number of winners, the number of trades that I take, until I only see trade scenarios where all of this stuff looks good, right? And that could be a great way to isolate or limit the number of trades you take, number one, and number two, slim it down to just the best sort of trades. So I don't know. I had that thought today and I wanted to see what you guys think. Smart Solomon says, I'm losing every day and it's really bad for me. Solomon, that's tough, man. The thing about trading is okay, if you're losing every single day, like every single day you get into the markets and you're just taking losses, something might be wrong. Like, you might not have a strategy. You might not have any sort of confidence in what you're doing. So, you haven't tested what you're doing and you don't have any idea. Because the thing is, like, I can have trades where I lose multiple days in a row, maybe even a week or 2 weeks in a row, where I'm not catching winning trades. And that would be sort of in the realm of normal for my trading strategy. So, like, as a trader, we all know by now, if you've been watching, the content that we put out here at A1 Trading, like, most of the time, traders at this point, they know, well, you take losses. It's part of the process. The difference, though, is that you should know what a healthy amount of loss is, right? Because we want to be making wins that are overall netting us a profit. So to do that, you need to know what's normal in terms of losses. Is 5 losses in a row, is that normal? Is 10 losses in a row normal? Well, if you don't know what's normal and what's not, then you probably haven't back tested your concepts and your strategies. So a very, very important concept would be to back test your concepts, back testing your trading strategy. There's ways to use like simulators. Like here, I'll give you an example right on the screen. If you use TradingView and you have the premium version, which I do, you can go right here and check this out. I could go to the replay section and look at this. So I can go back here and bam, I can play with the data as if it was real time. and we can let this thing run, and I could take theoretical trades. Like, for example, let's say I took a long trade. I have no reason to, or why not, but let's just say, we take this trade, and I have like a pen and paper or an Excel spreadsheet, and I can just run this thing and say, okay, well, how would I have performed in this strategy, right? That's what backtesting is. I have videos on backtesting. If you search up Trader Nick backtesting, that's a great way to do it. But there's going to be a lot of stuff coming to this channel as well. So please do me a favor, guys. If you like my content on my channel, we're going to be doing more quality stuff like this, breaking things down a bit further on this secondary channel. It's a much smaller channel where we're going to isolate more on a little bit of smaller group sort of stuff if we can, and more events and webinars and things like that. So if any of this is looking like it would be helpful to you, make sure to subscribe to this one as well. Dimitri said, why did you want to block me? Who's trying to block who here? I'm not trying to block anybody. I'm just trying to figure out how to get this stream to work. This is a new stream platform. It's got the powered by StreamYard in the top right. Can I remove that from stream? I don't think I can. I think that's that's what you get with the paid version. So we might have to do the paid version at a certain point. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So the thing is, like, there's ways to backtest your strategies and go through the process of, testing the concepts that you're looking at. And I think it's one of the most, backtesting is one of the most undervalued things in trading. Why do I feel so short? I feel like there we go. Now I'm looking down at you guys. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like backtesting is one of those things that are so undervalued, people just don't care about it as much in Forex because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of, time commitment to go through and backtest your concepts. But I'm telling you, man, backtesting is one of the best ways to build any sort of confidence in a trading strategy. So like whatever you're looking at, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have something that you've tested before, you're kind of running in the blind, right? Do you have tips to backtest for free? So Dimitri, you can actually backtest for free on TradingView too. I just mentioned like the paid version because it's a lot better, honestly. But you can still go back and you can just be like, you can do something like this where you hide the right hand side and you say, okay, well, I'm going through and I would have taken this trade. And you can sort of scroll through, like that's the alternative to using the replay function on TradingView. But if you have an extra couple bucks, I'm not sure how much it is, the premium version anymore. But if you have the extra money, then you could try out the premium TradingView version as well. It's pretty good. TradingView is the best. Yeah, Phil, it totally is. I've been converted. I used to kind of like MetaTrader better, but I've switched. Since crypto started popping a few weeks ago, volume in the Forex market has gone down, I feel. Ryan, I don't think so, man. Because the thing is with Forex is like, Forex is every single day. In fact, even with crypto, if you want to buy Bitcoin, what do you have to buy it in? US dollars. And that's part of the currency exchange. So if anything, a giant boost in cryptocurrency, if everybody's like depositing to Coinbase and depositing all these exchanges, if anything, it's kind of bullish for the US dollar or whatever people are buying it in. Hey, what's up with my shirt? Is my shirt like really, really weird today? I think I've done this mistake in the past. I think I've worn this shirt on streams before and people were like thrown off by it. It actually doesn't look too bad there. I don't know. It looks much weirder. Oh, I can do all these different. There we go. No, wait. There we go. Yeah, it looks weird for some reason on this view. Dade likes, I like MT4, honestly. I mean, for each person, there's a different one that works best. Yeah. So again, what I'm saying with trimming the fat, if you will, when it comes to back testing and finding your best trades is like the honest truth that nobody wants to hear is that like if you're going to find your best trades, you got to be like very familiar with your trading style, with your back testing. You have to know sort of what works, what doesn't. One thing that's really, really important. Oh, I meant to tell you guys this earlier. Okay. So one more thing with improving your, finding your best trading setups, right? Stick to pairs that work for you. Okay, we're talking about specifically Forex. To those of you guys who trade crypto or trade stocks, this kind of applies as well. But for me, talking Forex, find currency pairs that you like the best. Real quick, for those of you guys who are in here, what do you guys think? What do you think is like your best currency pair? Like, which one do you have the most success with? And throw in why. What do you like the pound dollar? Do you like gold? Do you like dollar yen? I mean, there's different currency pairs out there. I'll give you guys the ones that I like the best right now. Some of the ones that I've had the most success with recently, a couple swing trades on Euro Aussie. I've talked about this pair a lot on my main channel on some of the streams there. But one of the biggest reasons is just because this trend fundamentally has just been down, and it's been beautiful. It's been lots of great trading opportunities on this currency pair for me. I even caught some back here. It's not going to show up on this broker because I made a switch sort of right around here. So anyways, yeah, I mean, some of the great downtrend there ever since the pandemic sort of started to recover. This has been one of my favorite currency pairs because I've just been very short biased on it. Even caught some good moves, back here, got stopped out here once. And then took another trade that was a profit there recently. So this is what I mean by, just keeping an eye on, what currency pairs are your favorite, what charts are your favorite, and trying to sort of isolate yourself to focus on the ones that work best for you. So Euro Aussie is a good one that I like. Another one that I really like was Euro USD. Now it's been a little bit mixed sentiment. You can see I tried buying it there, took about a break even trade on that. I shorted it here, made profit there. Did I don't think I bought it here. Oh, I shorted it. Oh yeah, I shorted it, and then the same day got stopped out. That was no fun. But we sort of saw a shift back the other direction. But this one before, during 2020 was a great one for me, and then it shifted to the downside, and I made some money on this one to the downside as well. But back in 2020, this was probably my favorite currency pair. Now it's sort of one of my interesting ones. But yeah. So the thing is, like I said, one of the biggest tips that I would say is stick to stuff that you really like and stuff that you really seem to understand the best. It's one of those things, if you can master a select few currency pairs, you're probably better off than if you're doing 50 currency pairs and looking at so many at the same time that you sort of miss out, if that makes sense. Pound dollar, because it's volatile and good market conditions, says Dimitri. I see markets as good. I use that one too, especially for Euro USD. All right. BD Swiss is a scam broker. I'm not too sure about BD Swiss, to be honest. I've heard good things and I've heard bad things, so I can't comment on that. Yeah. Optical illusion, says Dade, on my shirt. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, to be honest. I don't like it. But yeah, so like I said, so when talking about trimming the fat, improving your best trades, if you find that you are really unsuccessful on a certain pair, like, I don't know, let's say you are just really unsuccessful trading gold, right? If you're looking at gold and you're just getting stopped out a lot and you just say, I just don't like the way this thing moves, then there's no reason to trade it. One of the quickest ways to improve is, everyone thinks that with trading, the best way to make a lot of money is to, always be, everyone thinks that the best way to be a good trader per se is to always find the best moves, always, catch the biggest ones that are out there. But the reality is that I think it's more about improving on the losing side. Cut the losses sooner, take profits where they come, but definitely find ways to take less losses if possible. It's impossible to destroy or to eliminate all the losses. But if you don't, take time to cut out some of the losing trades, then they totally can destroy your account. US 30 is my new friend. LTTRT, be careful with that one, my friend. US 30 is a wild one. It can love you and then betray you the next week. So just be careful with it. It's incredibly volatile. Dimitri says I meant for in Europe, not Euro USD. Gotcha. What's the best broker for crypto? I use Coinbase, but it's because it's SEC regulated here in the old United States. Nick, are you aware of any crypto exchanges or brokers that use MT4? Ryan, Hugo's Way has the chance to trade crypto. It's a Forex broker. I guess it's a Forex and crypto broker. You can trade with them. Anytime you look at any broker, though, always do your research, do your homework with any of them, because there are a lot of scammy, sketchy brokers as well out there that you have to be careful about. That will make it really hard for you to ever withdraw your money from them, etc. So you have to be careful. I'm Amul. What's up, man? I'm Amul says, hey, Nick, welcome to the stream. We're hanging out. We're talking about improving trading through cutting losses, reducing losses. And I really do think it's one of those things that people overlook. Like I said, I think like with everything going on, with like crypto going crazy and everybody seeming to be so, infatuated with the latest stock pick or the latest, move on gold or the latest cryptocurrency move, I think it's just a good reminder to remember that chasing is a really dangerous thing and probably a very quick way to rack up some serious losses. Now, you've got people who right now, they are totally, in FOMO mode. It's a super FOMO-filled market, especially with everything going so well for things like Dogecoin, for example, right? We talked about it at the beginning of the stream here, but I just want to reiterate, there's so many people out there who saw Dogecoin going straight up and they said, I want to buy this thing because I don't want to miss out, right? And now you can see it's not that you can't make money chasing. It's that you build a habit that's like almost inevitably going to kill you at some point, right? It's going to be dangerous, dangerous, dangerous to build up these habits. And that's really what we're talking about when talking about finding, the best trading setups, is reducing the bad trading setups. You'll naturally have more great trading setups if you can reduce some of the crappy ones that you find yourself getting into. I don't know. Have you guys ever felt like you have forced a trade, or you're sitting there and you're like, man, there was no reason to take that trade, all that sort of stuff. Like, have you ever felt just right after that you're stupid for taking that trade? Because you're not alone. I totally, there's still times occasionally, not too often anymore, but occasionally I'll take a trade and be like, Nick, why the heck did you, and I won't use the word heck, I'll say, Nick, why are you taking this trade? It's not the right setup. But for the most part, I've cut that out of my trading, and I feel like that's been a big improvement for me. As a trader myself, I would not go around and be like, oh, I'm a profitable trader because I take these amazing wins all the time. The profitability comes from reducing the losses, I think, personally. Does anybody agree with that? Does anybody feel the same way in their trading, that the losses are what kind of holds them back? It's not necessarily because they're missing out on great big wins. Where do you find significant fundamentals? You can check out forexfactory.com. It's a good website for that. And then also we've got a bunch of stuff on the website. You can go to the A1 Trading website and read up on our latest thoughts. A lot of what we do is fundamental based. So we have Frank and Bart who are both writing articles. Read up on the latest from us anytime you want. That's a great place to get your fundamentals on top of forexfactory.com. All right, let's see what Tim has to say. So Tim says, I started watching Joe's backtesting webinar earlier on from about halfway through. The bit I watched was great. We'll go back and rewatch later on, but I was winning and losing at about the same rate. Okay, well, thanks for the feedback, Tim. Yeah, if you're enjoying the webinars, then definitely make sure to subscribe to this channel as well, because we're going to be doing more on here. And actually, Joe is going to be doing some content on here for us as well, which is super exciting because anytime I can get Joe on camera, everybody seems to love it. So we will try and get more to you guys in terms of content from the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Barreca down in Australia. So you guys stay tuned on this channel. Subscribe here if you want that in the future. And if you turn on post notifications, that'll probably get you set up for success. Just because I think, with this being a new channel, it might not promote to you as well. But if you click the notification bell, it should help. Helmy says, I'm still in the learning process. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, can I actually do this? Look at this. Yo, that is so cool. Hey, Julie, Emily, look at that. Isn't that cool? We were just talking about how cool this new platform is. Streamlabs allows me to put up a comment on the chat. So if you guys have any questions for me, let's try this out. I've got a few more minutes before I shut this off. Ask me a question. I'd love to pop it up on the screen there. Any tips for FOMO? Great question. We just talked about it a little bit, but in case you're just tuning in here, big thing about FOMO. is there honestly is no substitute for FOMO outside of trying it and losing a bunch of money. But if you're smart, you could probably just avoid that. So if you're struggling with FOMO, if you're sitting there, you're like, man, I can't help but just want to jump in full, feet first into Dogecoin right now. I'm honestly going to say, like, for me, the only reason I really learned not to give into FOMO is because I lost money trying to do it so many times when I was like a new trader. Jason says, thanks Nick for sharing all this. It helps me a lot. You're very welcome. Thank you very much for supporting the content. We love what we do here, and I'm just happy that I get to do this all the time. So thank you for supporting the content. So what do you think about what's going on in the U.S. markets right now? Hey, you know what? The thing is, Esteban, I don't try and call tops very often when it comes to the U.S. stock market, especially because that thing over time, it goes up. Not always, but over time, historically, it's gone up. Every other decade, at least, it's been up from where it was. I think there's never been 2 decades in a row of negative gains. Pretty sure. But the idea is, when it comes to the U.S. markets, yeah, it does look a little top heavy to me. I'm not going to lie. When I look at the stock market, I look at my stocks, I'm like, wow, I should probably take some profits. And in fact, I actually have been looking at that. I've been looking at, maybe taking some profits on some of my stocks. And for those of you who trade U.S. indices, keep an eye. I wouldn't be going long here, but I also wouldn't be shorting this market either. I'd be careful just because it does look a bit top heavy, but I'm not going to try and call tops just because, again, for the most part, this thing goes up. So I'm not jumping into that. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate you on that. All subbed and notifications on. You're the man, Phil. Thanks so much. What do you think of Hugo's Way and funding talent? Hugo's Way and funding talent. So I use Hugo's Way. I have a small account with them just for the ability to trade some of the more extensive things that they offer, like gold and indices and CFDs and stuff like that. So I think that they're good. But again, as always, do your own due diligence with anything that you look into for yourself. Funding talent. I don't really have any. I have no idea, truthfully. I don't use any sort of prop firms myself. To answer Dave's question as well, I don't really use prop firms. I never have because I had sort of a rare situation from the start in my trading journey. I always had capital to invest. I started a business. I started a landscaping business when I was in high school, and I did that all the way through college, and I had money stored. I did a little bit of a rental business, and so I had money to trade from the start. So I never really needed to borrow money or use other people's money. But I think that there's nothing wrong with prop firms. Just, whatever you do, as always, do your research, look into reviews and look into people's content on them. So, yeah. Joe is such a good guy. Love the humble and love the humble mentality. I learned a lot from him. Of course, the whole team of A1. Dimitri, you're awesome, man. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, he's a great guy. Joe is awesome. Very, very proud to have him as part of our staff. Hey, Nick, does the VIP community offer any educational content for beginners? Yes, we've got a bunch. Not to mention there's coaching webinars to answer questions, kind of like this one, but with another gentleman named Joe. If you haven't met him, he's a mysterious character that comes out every once in a while and does some great webinars for our team. So we've got a lot of educational material as well as Joe's webinars to help out. Hey, Nick, I've been really enjoying the community and your live stream since joining recently. How long would you say it took you to become a consistently profitable trader? Hey, Ben, thank you very much for your message. So it actually took me about 2 years of really, really dedicated to this stuff, spending a lot of time on this stuff. So that's for me 2 years, but I don't want you to say oh, okay, just 2 years and then I'm going to make money. That's not really how it goes. It could be sooner for you. It could be longer for you. It really depends how dedicated you are, how much this stuff resonates with you, how much you're willing to back test, etc. So keep that in mind. All right, what's the next question here? How often do you use pending orders? Not usually. Actually, I use a lot of just market orders. Usually when I take a trade, I just say, okay, it's in a zone that I like, and then I wait for the setup, and then I just take it. So usually I use market orders. Been watching your stream for a few months now. I'm finally profitable as a trader. Keep up the good work. And hello to Julie. Hey, Shane, thanks so much for your message. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love getting those messages. Those make my day. Seeing somebody make it to the profitability circle is always a great feeling. And if we can help you along the way, I think that's just an awesome testament to what we do at A1 Trading. Our team works really hard to do that and to help you get there. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to really put in the effort and become, a profitable trader. Love this new platform, makes the whole experience great. Yeah, you know what, Dade? I'm excited for this. I think I'm going to do this more and maybe even convert this onto my channel, my main channel. But again, for those of you guys who are hanging out with me here on the A1 Trading YouTube channel, we're going to be live streaming and doing more content here. So do me a favor, subscribe to this one if you have not already, and make sure to turn post notifications on so that if we do a live stream in the future, you get access to it. We don't have a schedule yet, but this is fun. I like hanging out with you guys and having this ability to pull up your questions and chat with you. So, yeah. Last question for the day says, have you ever used the 1 minute time frame for in your entire trading life? Oh, I have, but there's a reason why I don't do it anymore. I think scalping is a little bit tough for me. I'm not interested in scalping because when you do the 1 minute, spreads and commissions are so costly. Right. The thing is, like when you're scalping, when you're in and out and you're in, you're out, you're paying commissions every time. You're paying for the swap, the spread every single time. And that is pricey. So I think scalping for me is like the least likely way to make money when it comes to trading Forex. Personally, might be different for you, but I just have not. I would much rather swing trade, look for the big setups on the higher time frames and let them run, let them do those big trends if they're going to do them, and make my money that way. Guys, that's all I've got. But hey, you guys, thank you so much for being here on the first ever stream on the A1 Trading YouTube channel. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll do this again sometime. Thanks, and we'll see you back next time.